Imagine a bowl of creamy comfort, warming you from the inside out. Potato soup, a timeless classic, often gets a bad rap when it comes to calories. But what if I told you this beloved dish could be a surprisingly wholesome addition to your diet? Join me, Amelia Clark, as we uncover the secrets of potato soup, from its surprising health benefits to how you can enjoy it guilt-free. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more delicious and healthy insights. This recipe is designed to help you create the ultimate creamy potato soup, packed with flavor and comfort. Ingredients: 6 strips bacon cut into bite-sized pieces, 3 tablespoons butter, 1 medium onion, chopped 3 cloves garlic, minced about 1 heaping tablespoon, 1/3 cup all-purpose flour, 2 pounds Yukon Gold potatoes, peeled and cut into 1-inch pieces, 4 cups chicken broth, 2 cups whole milk, 2/3 cup heavy cream, 1½ teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon ground black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon ancho chili powder or regular chili powder, plus more to taste, 2/3 cup sour cream. Step 1. Cook the bacon. First, place a large pot, like a Dutch oven, on your stovetop. Turn the heat to medium. Add your 6 strips of bacon, which you've already cut into bite-sized pieces. Cook the bacon until it's perfectly crisp and fully cooked through. This bacon is key for a fantastic flavor foundation. Step 2. Reserve bacon in grease. Once the bacon is cooked, carefully remove it from the pot. Transfer it to a plate lined with a paper towel and set it aside. Don't discard the bacon grease left in the pot. We'll be cooking our soup in a little bit of that flavorful fat. Step 3. Saute onion and butter. Now, to the same pot with the bacon grease, add 3 tablespoons of butter and your chopped medium-sized onion. Cook this mixture over medium heat for about 3 to 5 minutes, or until the onion becomes soft and translucent. Stir occasionally to ensure even cooking. Step 4. Add garlic. Next, it's time for the garlic. Add your 3 minced garlic cloves, that's about 1 heaping tablespoon, to the pot. Stir it in with the butter and onions. Cook for just about 30 seconds, or until the garlic becomes wonderfully fragrant. Be careful not to let it burn. Step 5. Incorporate flour. Sprinkle 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour over the ingredients in the pot. Use your spoon to work the flour into the mixture, stirring constantly. You want it to be nice and smooth. This flour will create a rich, creamy base, serving as the perfect foundation for our creamy potato soup. Step 6. Add potatoes and liquids. Now, add your potatoes to the pot. Remember, for even cooking, make sure they're cut into pieces no larger than 1 inch. Pour in 4 cups of chicken broth, followed by 2 cups of whole milk, and then 2/3 cup of heavy cream. That touch of heavy cream truly ensures a deliciously creamy potato soup. Step 7. Season the soup. It's time to add our seasonings. Stir in 1½ teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Now for a secret weapon, ancho chili powder. Add 1/4 teaspoon to start. It adds a slightly sweet, smoky flavor that we love. If you don't have ancho chili powder, regular chili powder works too. Stir everything together until it's well combined. Step 8. Boil and simmer. Increase the heat to bring the soup to a boil. Once it's boiling, reduce the heat to a simmer and stir occasionally. Cook the soup for about 10 minutes, or until your potatoes are tender when pierced with a fork. Step 9. Puree half the soup. Once the potatoes are tender, reduce the heat to a low simmer. Here's where the magic happens for extra creaminess. Using an immersion blender, carefully puree about half of the soup directly in the pot. Just eyeball it. You still want some potato chunks. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can carefully remove about half of the soup to a regular blender, puree it, and then return it to the pot. Continue to simmer for about 30 minutes. Step 10. Final additions and serve. Finally, stir in 2/3 cup of sour cream. Add the reserved cooked bacon back into the pot as well. Stir everything together until it's nicely combined. Let the soup simmer for another 15 minutes before serving. You can top your ultimate creamy potato soup with extra bacon, cheddar cheese, more sour cream, or chives for an even richer experience. Enjoy! Alright, let's break down how to make this 18th century inspired potato soup, just like they would have for winter survival. This isn't your fancy loaded potato soup, but it's hearty and authentic. Here's what you'll need for a smaller batch: roughly 5 quarts of soup. Water, 5 quarts, about 4.7 liters. Coarse beef or mutton, 2.5 pounds, about 1.1 kilograms, cut into pieces. Don't worry if it's not the fanciest cut or if you can't find bones. Any beef will do. Potatoes, 5 to 6 pounds, about 2.3 to 2.7 kilograms, unpeeled. These were the star of the show back then. Onions, 2 medium-sized onions, peeled. Salt, to taste. Pepper, to taste. Now, let's get cooking. Follow these steps carefully, and you'll have a genuine taste of history. Step 1. Get your water boiling. First things first, grab a large sturdy pot. A Dutch oven or a big stock pot works perfectly. Pour in your 5 quarts of water. Place it on your stove over high heat and bring that water to a rolling boil. This is your foundation. Step 2. Add the meat. Once the water is boiling fiercely, it's time to introduce your meat. Carefully add the 2.5 pounds of cut beef or mutton to the boiling water. Stir it gently to make sure the pieces are submerged. You're going to let this cook until it's about half done, meaning it's starting to tenderize but not fully cooked through yet. This usually takes a good 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the cut. Step 3. Prepare the potatoes. While your meat is simmering, you've got a little work to do with the potatoes. This is the most time-consuming part, so give yourself a good chunk of time. Take your 5 to 6 pounds of potatoes. You'll need to pare them, which means peeling off their skins. Once they're peeled, slice them into fairly uniform pieces. You want them to cook evenly, but don't obsess over perfection. Step 4. Combine everything. Now, carefully add your sliced, pared potatoes to the pot with the simmering meat. Next, add your 2 peeled onions. They don't need to be finely chopped. Just cut them into quarters, or even halves. Then, season generously with salt and pepper. Remember, this soup was meant to be filling and flavorful, even with simple ingredients. Step 5. Simmer until ready. Give everything a good stir to combine all those wonderful ingredients. Bring the soup back to a gentle boil, then reduce the heat to a simmer. You're going to let this simmer frequently, stirring often, for at least an hour, or even longer. The goal is for the potatoes to start breaking down, thickening the soup naturally. Some folks liked their potatoes completely dissolved, while others preferred a few chunks. Cook it to your preference. If you want a richer flavor, you can always add some beef bones along with the meat in the initial cooking phase. Step 6. Serve and enjoy. Once the potatoes are cooked through and the soup has reached your desired consistency, thick, hearty, and full of flavor, it's ready to serve. Ladle it into bowls and enjoy this simple, yet incredibly satisfying, taste of history. This soup was designed to feed many with little effort, and it certainly does the job. This recipe is for a rich, comforting loaded potato soup, perfect for any time of year. It's hearty, full of flavor, and surprisingly easy to make. Ingredients: potatoes, about 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, diced into half-inch pieces. Bacon, 6 to 8 slices, chopped. Onion, 1 medium yellow onion, finely diced. Butter, 4 tablespoons, 1/2 stick unsalted butter. All-purpose flour, 1/4 cup. Chicken stock, 4 cups, low sodium recommended. Whole milk, 2 cups. Sour cream, 1/2 cup, plus more for garnish. Sharp cheddar cheese, 1.5 cups, freshly grated, plus more for garnish. Green onions, scallions, 1/4 cup, chopped, plus more for garnish. Salt, to taste. Black pepper, to taste. Alright, let's get cooking. This is a simple recipe, but packed with flavor. Step 1. Cook the bacon. Start by placing a large soup pot over medium heat. You want to preheat it gently. Add your chopped bacon to the pot. Let it cook slowly, stirring occasionally, until it's nice and crispy. This usually takes about 8 to 10 minutes. Once the bacon is perfectly crispy, use a slotted spoon to remove it from the pot. Place the cooked bacon on a plate lined with paper towels to drain. We'll add this back later. Step 2. Remove bacon fat. Now, look at all that delicious bacon fat in the pot. While it's tempting to keep it all, we're going to pour out most of it. Leave only about a teaspoon or so in the bottom of the pot. Too much bacon fat can overpower the soup. Pro tip: don't throw away that extra bacon fat. You can save it in the fridge and use it later to roast potatoes or saute vegetables. It adds amazing flavor. Step 7. Saute onions and make the roux. With just a little bacon fat left in the pot, add your 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Let it melt completely. Once the butter is melted, add your finely diced onion to the pot. Saute the onions, stirring frequently until they become soft and translucent. This should take about 3 to 4 minutes. Next, sprinkle in the all-purpose flour. Stir it constantly with a wooden spoon for about 1 minute. This step is crucial. It cooks out the raw flour taste and creates what we call a roux. That's what will thicken our soup and make it wonderfully creamy. Step 4. Add liquids and potatoes. Slowly pour in the chicken stock, whisking constantly to ensure there are no lumps. Keep whisking until the mixture is smooth. Now, gradually add the whole milk, continuing to whisk until everything is well combined and smooth. Finally, add your diced Yukon Gold potatoes to the pot. Step 5. Simmer the soup. Bring the soup to a gentle simmer over medium heat. You'll see tiny bubbles starting to form. Once simmering, reduce the heat to low. Cover the pot and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the potatoes are tender when pierced with a fork. It's important that the potatoes are cooked through but still hold their shape. We don't want them to turn to mush. Step 6. Season and finish. Once the potatoes are tender, it's time to season. Taste the soup first, then add salt and a generous amount of black pepper to your liking. Potatoes love pepper, so don't be shy. Reduce the heat to its lowest setting. Stir in the sour cream until it's completely incorporated. Add most of your cooked bacon back into the soup, reserving a little for garnish. Stir in most of the chopped green onions and about 1.5 cups of your grated sharp cheddar cheese. Gently stir until the cheese is fully melted and incorporated. Be careful not to let the soup boil once the sour cream and cheese are in. Just a gentle simmer is all you need to melt everything together. This should only take about 5 minutes. Step 7. Serve and enjoy. Ladle the hot, rich loaded potato soup into bowls. Garnish each serving with extra crispy bacon, a sprinkle of fresh green onions, a dollop of sour cream, and a little more grated cheddar cheese. The warmth of the soup will melt that extra cheese right on top. Pure comfort. There you have it, a comforting bowl of loaded potato soup. Enjoy.